3 ways your brain actually changes with your mindset. Number 1 is neuroplasticity. Now, this is actually something that's scientists have only really known the past maybe decade, and it's how the brain actually rewires itself as you learn more, as you adopt a different mindset. So when you actually adopt a growth mindset, look it up. Look that one up. It's the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset in a book called Mindset by Carol Dweck. And once you adopt a growth mindset, your brain actually starts to rewire itself. It creates new neural pathways, which is incredible. It shows how it was believed many moons ago that, once your brain matured out of adolescence, that was it. But it's not correct. Your brain still changes and adapts and rewires itself all through life, which is an incredible concept. So the more you adopt a growth mindset, the better your brain rewires itself and actually adapts to the life you are living. Number 2 is a reduction in fear and anxiety. So when you start to use a more positive mindset, and that is a choice, when you choose to have a more positive mindset, your fear and anxiety actually starts to reduce, because it's the whole concept of something gets crowded out by something else. So this actually goes back to when I graduated as a health coach, and rather than saying to someone, "Oh, you can't eat this," what you do is you crowd out the bad foods with the good foods. So you could have a bad food on the plate and it's like that amount of bad food, or you can have that amount of good food instead on that plate. So you have more to eat and more enjoyment when you're eating it. And this concept comes into play when you actually adopt a positive mindset. The positivity, and that linked with the neuroplasticity, starts to crowd out the fear and the anxiety, which are obviously more negative thoughts and emotions. So start to change your language, start to change how you think. So when you catch yourself thinking in a negative way, flip it. Or add the word yet to a statement. So if you say, "Oh my God, I can't do this," and you're feeling really scared about and anxious about it, if you change that statement to, "Wow, I can't do this yet," it changes the whole emotion. It tells your brain that there is growth to be had, there is learning to be had, there is adaptation to be had. And instead of just flat out saying to your brain, "You can't do this," you're actually saying there is hope and there is future. And that's a massive difference. So it starts to actually crowd out the fear and the anxiety when you tell yourself you can't do something, or when you go to do something you think, oh my God, this is so scary. And that's another thing. I might go off on a tangent here, but I'm going for it. Fear and excitement are actually triggered in exactly the same place in your brain. The difference between the two is what you choose it to be. So you feel those emotions, and you can either choose it to be fear, or you can choose it to be excitement. So if you start to choose excitement, it's going to change your brain. It's going to bring the neuroplasticity into it. It's going to help your brain to rewire itself, and also to think in a more positive and successful way. How amazing is that? Number 3, you actually become more creative. So the more positive you think, the more of a positive mindset you adopt, your creativity increases and increases and increases, because your brain starts to operate differently. Instead of thinking negatively and thinking those, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, I'm useless, it starts to think, oh my God, I'm amazing, I know this, I can do this. And you start to think in a different way. And that actually promotes a greater sense of creativity. And then the more creative you get, the more positive you get. The more positive you get, the more creative you get. It's a never-ending cycle of positive and success. So start to think and speak and treat yourself in a more positive way. Your brain will rewire itself. You'll feel less anxious, and you'll be more creative. It's a win-win-win. Who doesn't want that? Now, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more like this. And you go have an incredible and positive day.